Halloween, celebrated on October 31st, has a rich history that intertwines ancient traditions, religious practices, and modern cultural influences. Its origins trace back to the Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain, observed by the ancient Celts of Ireland, Scotland, and northern France. This festival marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, a time associated with death and the thinning of the veil between the living and the dead. As such, Samhain was a night of both celebration and solemnity, with bonfires, costumes, and rituals meant to ward off malevolent spirits believed to roam the earth. The Celts held that on Samhain, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead blurred, allowing spirits to return to earth. These spirits could either bless or curse the living, and offerings of food were placed outside homes to appease them. People also dressed in costumes made from animal skins to disguise themselves from any harmful spirits. Community bonfires were lit as a source of protection, and rituals were performed to predict the fortunes of the coming year. This ancient festival was deeply ingrained in Celtic culture and would later be influenced by Christianity and eventually become part of Halloween. With the spread of Christianity into Celtic lands, Samhain began to merge with Christian practices. By the 9th century, the Church moved the celebration of All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, to November 1st, aligning it closely with Samhain. The night before All Hallows' Day became known as All Hallows' Eve, which eventually evolved into Halloween. During this period, Halloween traditions began to change. Instead of fearing the spirits, people started to honor saints and the recently departed. The concept of souling also developed, where people would go door to door asking for small cakes in exchange for prayers for the souls of the dead. This practice is often seen as the predecessor of today's trick-or-treating. The Halloween we recognize today, with costumes, trick-or-treating, and decorations, largely took shape after Irish and Scottish immigrants brought their traditions to North America in the 19th century. These communities held on to some of their old customs, including fortune-telling games, apple bobbing, and the use of carved turnips or gourds with faces to ward off evil spirits. In North America, pumpkins, native to the region and easier to carve, eventually replaced turnips, giving rise to the now iconic jack-o'-lantern. As these immigrant traditions blended with American culture, Halloween shifted from its somber roots to a more community-centered, festive occasion. Trick-or-treating, now one of Halloween's most popular activities, started gaining traction in the 1920s and 1930s as a family-friendly way to celebrate. Children dressed in costumes would go door to door asking for candy with the light-hearted threat of playing a trick if no treat was given. By the 1950s, the practice had become widely popular, and Halloween had taken on a more playful, commercial aspect. Costume sales, candy marketing, and Halloween-themed events became a staple of American culture, and Halloween eventually spread as a secular celebration to other parts of the world. Today, Halloween is celebrated in numerous ways across the globe. In the United States and Canada, children dress in costumes and go trick-or-treating, while people of all ages attend costume parties, haunted houses, and pumpkin-picking events. In Mexico, Halloween overlaps with Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, a holiday from October 31st to November 2nd, celebrating deceased loved ones with colorful altars, sugar skulls, and marigolds. In Europe, particularly the United Kingdom and Ireland, many of the original traditions, such as bonfires and costume wearing, remain popular. In Japan, Halloween has become a recent phenomenon, with parades, themed parties, and elaborate costumes gaining popularity, especially in urban areas. The holiday's themes of death, mystery, and the supernatural make a